All right, we can give everybody just a minute and then we can get started. Oh, we've got sun coming up here.
Lucky you. We have just gray sky, so this is kind of an optimistic Prague.
Yeah.
It's not the reality.
Not the real Prague.
No.
Oh. Pauline, that's correct. This is a webinar session, so you should be able to hear Pavla and I, but not yourselves. So that's correct for you. Yeah, there's going to be a couple of sessions that are just speaker sessions, and this is one of them. Yeah, we've had rain for about 10 days, so except Saturday and obviously today. So
It was the same. It was the same here. So
yeah, we'll take it. All right. Do you want to get started?
Yeah, I think we can.
Okay. I will mute myself because this is going to be your show, but I'll introduce you. How about we'll do that?
Yeah, please.
All right. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Lindsay Griffiths. I am the ILN's Executive Director, International Lawyers Network. Welcome to our first virtual conference. We're so thrilled that you could be here to join us. We're really happy to have you. And it is my pleasure to introduce officially for the first time our brand new chairperson who has been with us actually for quite a while now, but this is the first time everyone's getting to sort of see her in person, Pavla Kopeckova Prikrylova, from Prague, the Czech Republic, Peterka and Partners. And with that, I will pass it over to her to give you some opening remarks for our virtual conference. Pavla, welcome and thank you.
Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you for the welcome and for the introduction. I'd like to welcome all of you. As Lindsay said, this is really a great honor and privilege for me to welcome you at the very first ever virtual conference of the ILN. As you probably know, the ILN has been established as an organization of law firms essentially based on personal relations. So no virtuality, but just personal relations, some 32 years ago. And it always held at least one annual conference and 2 to 3 regional conferences a year. And the gatherings at the conferences were always considered to be very important part of the life of the ILN, of the existence, and basically one of the cornerstones. Because everyone considered those conferences important for fostering and developing the professional relations, but also, and that's one of the things that probably distinguishes ILN from other similar professional organizations, it allowed the people to create friendships, true friendships that last for long years. And that is also why, and when it gave rise to the motto of the ILN, that it's a network or an organization where the lawyers become friends. So it is relatively strange for me to welcome you at the virtual conference where we cannot really shake hands and give hugs as we are usually used to. But I believe that this is certainly better than nothing. As the COVID-19 hit the whole world and forced most of the businesses and all kinds of other organizations to switch to virtual and online mode of operation, we couldn't really stay behind. And so because the annual conference that was planned for March this year had to be postponed and finally will be canceled, we have decided to organize this virtual conference. So here we are, gathering only at distance. And I'm very pleased to see how many attendees have registered for the conference, and I'm even more pleased to see new names that have never been to the in-person conferences held in the past. And I sincerely hope that they will stick to the ILN and they will try to stay connected with their colleagues even after this virtual phase of our professional lives passes away. So welcome again. As Lindsay said, I have been elected the chair of the ILN in April, and I felt it as a great honor, but at the same time, a great responsibility. It's even tougher to become a lead of an organization in these times where we cannot meet in person and we only are limited to phone calls and video conferences. For those who do not know me in person and who don't know where I come from, so as you can see at the background, I come from Prague. I'm one of the founding partners of Peterka & Partners, a law firm, full service law firm that has offices across the Central and Eastern Europe in 9 countries. And I'm based in Prague in the headquarters. Our firm has joined the ILN in 2002, so it's been a while. And I have been the representative for the firm within the ILN since then. And I've also served at the board of directors from 2007 until 2015. So it's been really a great honor for me to be able to become and to be asked to become the chair and to be elected. So. But to take over a lead of such an organization is with such a long history and reputation is really a tough task, especially in these unprecedented times. Having said so, I am very, very much aware of how difficult it is to manage our organization, such a barbell, I would say, of lawyers across the globe, as we are 91 independent full service law firms in 66 countries on 6 continents. So it's not very easy. And it's been always a tough job for the executive director and the board of directors who have been in the lead of the organization. During these difficult times, it's even more difficult. So what we have decided to, very shortly after I have been elected, that we will use the provisions of the bylaws of the ILN, and that we will form an executive committee that would actually be more efficient, more easygoing, and more and quicker in taking certain types of decisions that in these times, totally unpredictable times, are sometimes necessary. So this is to those who would not know yet, this is to inform you that an executive committee has been formed and is working very closely with Lindsay Griffith as the executive director and is serving as a kind of a link between the executive director and the board of directors and the chair. And now just a few words about what is my vision, what are my goals in the role that I have been elected to for 3 years. It's not for indefinite period of time, just 3 years. I will certainly strive to contribute to maintaining all the qualities and values of the organization, and I'll try to help to drive it even further, because I think that there is always space for improvement and for further development, given also the overall pace of the happenings in the world. And I think that the most important, what we should always bear in mind, is that the values that we can take out, or that the network can give us, is directly dependent on the effort, the amount of effort and time that we invest in the network ourselves as member firms. This being said, I don't think that the network is only about referrals. That's probably one of the very important things for everyone, but it's not only about this. The values of the network are not only the referrals, but also the personal relations and the possibility to learn about other jurisdictions, about the business environment and the overall climate, let's say, in other countries, that we wouldn't be able to get or to learn or to know without being members of this organization. And at least for myself, I always consider it very much enriching. And I use it in everyday professional life because it just widens my knowledge about many things. And I think that these other qualities, than just a referral source, have been proven during the springtime, especially when the first phase of the pandemic came, that the member firms stayed always in contact and remained quite reactive on all kinds of calls that have been among them, and also have worked and invested even more time that they usually invest within the specialty groups, for example, but they have put together a detailed and regularly updated review of all kinds of restrictive measures that were applicable in various countries. And that, I think, was very helpful for a lot of us, because we could have advised our clients, or at least alert them basically in very short time about what's happening abroad. And even if we get back to the referrals, and I am sure Lindsay will talk about it, the level of referrals, the numbers remained very much the same despite the pandemic, or in some parts of the world, they even increased during the pandemic. So I think that this shows really the value that the ILN can bring to its members and that the members can take out of it. On the other hand, I think that it's very important to really see to the quality and maintaining the quality of the member firms, because every organization is as strong as its weakest part. So, and as you probably know, there has been always a review process before accepting new member firms as members. But what we have now worked on, and we will try to push it forward next year, is that there will be a review of the current member firms as well. But this review will not be only like a control and checking up whether this and this works well or not. It will allow at the same time a two-way dialogue, because we believe that it cannot be only the relationship or the kind of communication from the administration towards the members, but there has to be a two-way communication. So this will be a more institutionalized or formalized possibility of the member firms to convey their thoughts, their messages, their criticism towards the board of directors, the executive committee itself, or the executive director, and to share their concerns and ideas, what would be beneficial for them and what we could do better. So as you can see, the ILN administration, the board and the executive committee and myself, we have not been sleeping, and we have not remained dormant under the burden of the pandemic, but we have been working together very closely. We have regular calls every 2 weeks. We have regular Zoom meetings with the board every month, and every month also with the executive committee. So we are in a very fluent communication all together. And as we thought that it's really important for all of us to stay connected and to stay in lively communication, although we are all fed up with the Zoom meetings, we decided to put together this virtual conference. And the greatest thanks for this conference goes to Lindsay Griffith, who has put it together and who has arranged all the technical details and all the support that was needed so that this virtual conference can take place. So I wish you an enjoyable and enriching conference, and I sincerely hope to be able to meet you in person as soon as this damn virus weakens or goes away. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you. I would I hope everyone is applauding at home. That's the one downside to doing it in a webinar format, is that we don't have that benefit. We're getting all the thanks in the chats. That's great. But yeah, thank you so much, Pavla. And you echoed a lot of what I'm going to also cover in my piece, which is good. That's a good preview. And thanks, everyone. Now what we're going to do is move into our next session, which is another link. And the reason for doing that is to allow for people that wanted to attend just the director's update to attend just that piece. So we're going to exit CCAS giving a virtual clap, is to allow them to just attend that. So we're going to exit out of this session and then go into the board of directors update session. So for those of you that want to join us for the board of directors update, please see that separate link and we will see you in there. Thanks so much, everybody. Okay.
Thank you. See you in a minute.
See you in a minute.